So hi, this is Mark Williams with Marshall Kirkpatrick of the ReadWriteWeb, and we are here at the Real-Time Web Summit in Mountain View. So Marshall, can you just very quickly say who you are and what it is you do?
Yeah, I'm Marshall Kirkpatrick. I'm the lead writer and vice president of content development at ReadWriteWeb. I live in Portland, Oregon myself, but we've got a team of 15 people all around the world. We write about technology news every day.
Okay, so today is all about the real-time web. What exactly is that, and how is that different than the web that we have now?
It's a big, complicated phenomenon, to be honest, that means a lot of different things in a lot of different circumstances, but if you're going to try and sum it up in one short sentence, there's a good analogy that Brad Fitzpatrick from Google uses. He says that if in the old days a web page would call back home to a server and say, is there new content yet? Is there new content yet? It's kind of like the kids in the back of the car who say, are we there yet? Are we there yet? And the real-time web, one way to understand it is as a system that brings that to an end and says to the kids, you just sit there, I'll tell you when we get there. And similarly, some of the key real-time web technologies will push updates when they become available automatically out to your browser, so you get them right away.
And so to the average person using the internet, why is that a good thing?
For a number of reasons. Some people believe that real-time back and forth flow of conversation is more like natural people-to-people conversation than the old models of email or simple web publishing. There's a flow to conversation that happens there. There's a lot of different benefits. There's discovery of what you need to know as soon as you need to know it. There's the ability to take action then, to respond to changed circumstances because you were notified automatically. It's kind of like the difference between a TV set that just sits there and shows you the same thing until you change the channel on one hand, and now a TV set that will continually bring you new information without your having to do anything.
Okay. So those of us who live here in Silicon Valley are pretty wired. We're pretty cutting edge, and we use this stuff all the time. And then there's like the middle of the country, everybody else. Can you talk a little bit about what real-time web means for what I call the mom in Kansas? What is her internet experience going to be like 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and how is it useful to her?
Well, just today, for example, there was a change made, a new real-time technology adopted that will, for example, allow the mom in Kansas to receive a notification when the White House posts a new article on its blog immediately instead of 30 minutes after the fact. And that's just the beginning. Just like when you pick up the telephone and want to be able to have a conversation where people's voices are transmitted immediately, the web will become like that as well, where we can have conversations in real time with people spread out all over the world.
So maybe if there's a school closure, rather than having to look up and call the school and find out whether it's snowing too much,
you won't have to check. You'll probably get a notification pushed to you automatically. So instead of going back and checking every morning when there's snow on the ground, is school canceled? Is school canceled? You can just wait until that notification is pushed to you as soon as it's available.
And how soon before this web becomes available? Is it available now, or?
For some sources of information, it is, for sure. And for other sources of information, it will probably take a couple of years. Depends on what the information is and who's pushing it out and who's working in those organizations. Some school districts, for example, will have some real forward-looking geeks working in the office that'll push out school closure notifications to you, and others it'll take a couple years.
Do you know of any, last question, do you know of any good examples, websites people could go check out now to sort of get a feel for what this real-time
web in action?
Yeah.
The most accessible example is probably Facebook, where if you're one of the 300 million people around the world that uses Facebook, and you see in your news feed a little number at the very top that says there are 5 new messages, there are 7 new messages, someone has responded posted a comment on your photo that you just put up. You don't have to ask if there are new messages. You don't have to refresh your browser page. That information is delivered to you automatically. And that same principle will likely hold true across the entire internet in relatively short order.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much.